Welcome back to Sprite Fighter, the show where sprites, well, fight. If you don't know how this series works, then be sure to check out some of the earlier episodes. But if you know how this series works, then let's get into our matchup. But before any and everything else, I want to give a huge, and I mean huge, special thank you to the battle animator for this episode, Gabriel M. He was kind enough to let me use this animation for tonight's episode. So if you enjoy this animation, be sure to go to his channel and subscribe. And if you know of his work, then get hyped for this episode, as tonight we have a battle between Link and Crono. Link is from a multiverse, so we will be using Majora's Mask Link. With all this being said, let's go over tonight's characters, starting with Link. Alright, well, to get super technical with you all, I'm actually using a combination of Majora's Mask Link and Ocarina of Time Link. Ocarina of Time Link for the experience, and Majora's Mask Link for all of the masks that Link wields in that game. So with that being said, let's go over his arsenal. In Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, Link wields both the Hylian Shield and Master Sword along with the Triforce of Courage to take down his foes. These things are far more powerful than your average weapons. In addition to that, Link also has a huge arsenal of side weapons that can be used in combat, such as lamp oil, rope, and bombs. They're all Link's, my friend. Love that meme. Link also has a variety of masks to use in battle, such as the Deku Mask, Goron Mask, Zora Mask, and many more. All of these masks give Link many different upgrades. However, all of them pale in comparison to the Fierce Deity's mask. The Fierce Deity's mask gives Link the ability to turn into Fierce Deity Link, an omnipotent being that wields the most powerful blade in the game, rivaled only by the Great Fairy's sword. The Fierce Deity's mask is the most powerful in the game. Link is a very skilled warrior, but he is only 17 and he is not the most experienced out there, but despite that, he is still a very brave Hylian and will fight anyone that comes his way. Overall, Link is a very brave yet young warrior who wields some powerful weapons and masks. And with the Fierce Deity's mask, he's practically unstoppable. Over 1,000 years ago, Crono was just growing up in a small town, and he had a friend who loved to invent things, and one of the things she decides to invent is a time machine called a telepod. The telepod teleports Crono from one telepod to another, no problem. But it happens again, and it turns out to be a completely different outcome, and like every other time crisis story, it makes a time crisis, and now Crono and his friends have to travel through time to save his history. But along this perilous journey he goes on, he has a ton of weapons and armor to help him with. His crazy amount of weapons includes his crazy amount of katanas, and most impressively his Dream Seeker being his most powerful weapon. He also has lots of different types of armor, such as the Raven Armor, Ruby Armor, Titan Vest, Moon Armor, and many more. Crono also has many options of offense and support to his team. He can inflict many different types of physical and magical tech to his opponents, and for his higher magic techs, they can hit his opponents from anywhere. He does have a magic consumption limit, but he can use his silver stud to cut his magic consumption by 50%. Crono is extremely powerful, but he isn't without his flaws. For example, Crono has almost zero solo fighting experience since he fights nearly every single battle with his team members. He's also very weak to water and ice-based attacks along with shadow attacks. Overall, Crono is an extremely powerful magic user and swordsman. He has plenty of offensive and defensive options, but he is weak to water and ice-based attacks along with shadow attacks, and he has very little one-on-one fighting experience. The two swordsmen of time are about to duke it out. Which one will win? Only one way to find out.
Nice support!
Before we discuss why Link takes the win, I want to give a big, and I mean big thank you to the animator Gabriel M for animating this episode and letting me use the animation for this series. He is super awesome and super talented. He deserves your subscription way more than I deserve yours, so please, go subscribe to his channel and check out his other animations if you haven't already. With that being said, let's discuss Link's victory. So yeah, our winner is Link, and the most important thing to mention here is that this outcome is only possible with this specific circumstance. The fact that this was a one-on-one battle means Link had a huge advantage over Crono in terms of solo fighting experience. Crono almost never fights alone, he always fights with his team, and Link almost always fights alone. So that means that in this battle, Link had a huge advantage because he knows how to work by himself. Let's also not forget that Link has a huge arsenal advantage over Crono. Sure, Crono may have more swords and blades, but Link has more than just swords. He has his massive rope, bombs, potions, his grappling hook, just a bunch more weapons than Crono does. But forget all that, he only needs the Fierce Deity's mask to get the job done. Don't forget that Fierce Deity Link is an omnipotent being, which is something that Crono has never faced at all, let alone by himself. Now, to be fair to Crono, without Fierce Deity Link, he would have easily won this match. He is superior to Link in nearly everything in base form. So I would say that he would have a very easy time facing base form Link, but Fierce Deity Link is completely out of the question. With his friends, and if they had prep time, they might find a way around it, but even then, that would be a pretty big stretch for him. So with that being said, the winner of this battle is Fierce Deity Link. Now I would offer a rematch, but I actually want to offer something better. Ever since I quitted Sprite Fighter a few months back, I actually thought about bringing it back in some way, shape, or form much later down the road with a much more organized schedule and a much more organized format. But before I decide, I would like to see how many people would really want the series to return. So if you guys want to see Sprite Fighter fully return to the channel in a much better format and with a proper schedule, just like this video, if this video reaches 100 likes, Sprite Fighter will be rebooted to the channel. Now, I'm asking for a lot of likes because I want to make sure if a lot of people actually want the series to come back. So, if this video reaches 100 likes, Sprite Fighter will get rebooted and it will come back to the channel. Another way to show me that you want the series to come back is by commenting down your own suggestions for this series. I will take them into consideration. Now, even though the fate of this series is currently undetermined, I'm still going to showcase the next episode, just in case if you guys do get this video to 100 likes and the series does come back, the next trailer for the fight I showcase will be the battle that I return the series with. So with that being said, stay tuned as I reveal the next potential fighters. Next time on Sprite!